In this episode of Horse of the West, the NRHA cinched non-pro Futurity Championship in its final year in the legendary Jim Nrha Coliseum.
I'm just happy I get to ride in here one more time, one last finals.
It's really special to be able to have had that last chance to run in the Gateway Champions.
The life that the Reining Horse Association has given us is something that we can never replace.
We'll meet a Level 1 rider who qualified for this Level 4 final on a horse that is not the flashiest.
When the first time I saw him, I was like, oh my God.
And another finalist who didn't think her horse was much of a Futurity prospect.
I bought her as a project horse.
Plus Dr. Joe Carter in Your Horse Inside and Out, sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim.
We're going to talk about angular limb deformity.
That's all coming up on Horse of the West. Welcome to State Fair Park in Oklahoma City and the most prestigious event in the sport of reining, the National Reining Horse Association Futurity. The 55-year-old Jim Nrha Coliseum has long been this event's home, but that changes this year when this historic Coliseum will be replaced by a new, more modern facility. There's a palpable feeling of bittersweetness here at the final Futurity to be held in this iconic building as riders say goodbye to what has been almost a second home to many.
It's very nostalgic and kind of sad in a way, you know. Everybody that's got to run through that gate, it's such a blessing. Everybody loves it. I mean, it's the Gateway Champions. I know there's going to be a new one, but it'll never be like this one. And there's been a lot of good memories from winning the short stirrups to being in the finals at the majors. So it'll be a big change, but you know, I'm just happy I get to ride in here one more time, one last finals.
It's a special building for sure. I mean, all of us, the Deary boys, McCutcheons, me and my brother, we all grew up in here watching our parents, watching our families. So it's special. It's definitely bittersweet. The new place looks awesome. I've never been inside, but the module stuff I've seen looks really exciting. But this will definitely feel like a home that's going away.
It's emotional. There's so much history here in this facility, not just for myself, and I'm young saying that, but for those who have shown in here millions of times and in different industries. It's really special to be able to have had that last chance to run in the Gateway Champions tonight.
I'm excited for the new place. I'm excited to show here. It's been great in here. I'm sure it's going to be great in the new one. And it's been I'm just lucky I got to do all this. I got to see all the history and been a part of it.
It's brought me so many good memories, so it's going to be bittersweet to show here the last time, but excited for see the new place and love coming to Oklahoma City, so that's not going to change.
So let's go now to the last Futurity non-pro final that'll be run in this legendary arena. But there's still time for a few firsts before the NRHA says goodbye to the Jim Nrha. Kim Muhlstetter became a $1 million rider at the 2024 NRHA Derby and $1 million owner later in the year. So this is her first Futurity as a $1 million rider and $1 million owner, an aspect of the industry Kim says is sometimes underappreciated.
They provide the horses, and without the owners, I mean, the industry wouldn't be where it is today. You know, the owners, the breeders, the riders, I mean, everybody. It takes everybody together to make this as big as it is.
Kim says that includes the hard-working crew back at home at the Muhlstetter barn in Scottsdale.
I couldn't do it without everybody that's there and not taking the recognition. It is a team. It is, because you can't do it on your own. There's no way. And those guys, they put in hours and never complain, and they're just wonderful. It's been a big year, and the year didn't start out so good. I actually dislocated my shoulder beginning of March, leading a baby. It was not the horse's fault. Anyway, long story short, I was out. I couldn't show a cactus and wasn't really ready for NRBC because I was still hurting. But we did it and got through, made the finals, and was thrilled. And then it kind of picked up from there. So I had to work a little bit harder to get myself back in shape because, I mean, you know how it is. You don't ride for a month and it's rough to get on and feel confident to put your hand down and run and show. So once I got through NRBC, then I started feeling better and better, and the pain went away, and then it started rolling. So I said, I need to stay on top of this and just bust my butt to get to this number. And
Jessica Keller has been a member of the NRHA since she was a youth rider, but this is her first Futurity as a $1 million rider. She's on New Checks, a son of $3 million sire New Checks to Cash, a stallion that passed away in 2020, which Jessica actually showed herself in this very arena.
He is very similar to his dad. He's a huge stopper like his dad. He wants to be my buddy like his dad. Being in the Nrha again was great. I'm gonna miss it, I'll be honest. I showed his daddy here and I've showed him here, and I'm gonna miss it, but I'm looking forward to the new facility. Hopefully we'll get to take a tour soon.
Jessica made it to $1 million primarily riding horses bred by her mom, $1 million owner Tammy Hutton of Hilldale Farm. This horse, New Checks, was trained by Hilldale Farm's resident trainer, NRHA professional Ben Gerst.
I'm thankful for my mom raising such nice horses and Ben doing such a spectacular job training them. I have an incredible support group. My boyfriend's here watching the kids, and it's been a team effort.
Ellie Barassa of Gainesville, Texas is a level 1 rider making her first ever trip to the NRHA Futurity, and she qualified for this level 4 final on Colonel Crush. He's a son of P.S. Megashine Chick out of Shining Hit Girl that Ellie bought as a yearling.
It makes it really special to have the first Futurity. I know it won't happen like that, every time, so I've been really spoiled with him. He's been so good-minded, so having the chance to make the level 4 is pretty incredible. He was kind of my safe bet. He's never been like, the prettiest as a yearling. When the first time I saw him, I was like, oh my God. He had the longest ears a horse can have, so his barn name is Moose because he's brown and has kind of a head of a moose.
Ellie and Moose mark a 2:16.
It is hard to believe. We barely made it. We were 1 point away to make the level 4, and we decided I only get to have a horse to make the level 4 once, so we did the consolation and we got in, and to be here it's been a dream since I started reining.
Now here's $1 million rider Gina Schumacher of Gordonville, Texas, who took the non-pro Futurity co-championship here in 2022. She's on a son of NRHA Hall of Fame stallion Spook's Got a Whiz named Whiz and Rise out of Wada Sunrise, nicknamed Chuck. Gina only started riding this horse a couple of weeks before the Futurity, but they still score big with a 2:21.
I always try and just, see how it goes with all of them and trying to make the decision and then follow whatever they give me in there. So it really depends on the horse. It's always a challenge. As we can see now, it never gets old. It's always difficult. The hardest part is to make it look easy, and yeah.
Here's a $3 million rider, $2 million owner, and Hall of Fame member Mandy McCutcheon. With 10 Futurity titles under her belt, she is the winningest non-pro in NRHA history. Her first horse in the final here is Golden Knight Survivor by $8 million sire Gunner's Special Knight. This mare is out of Golden Survivor, a horse Mandy's son Cade won the youth Futurity on back in 2014.
The Palomino mare is actually raised by Dina Nell, but we've had her all along. Dina sent her for training. We've had her all along. Tom just bought her for me during the Legacy sale this year. I was over working the Legacy sale. He came over and was like, I think I bought you a new horse.
Mandy and Golden Knight Survivor, aka Bella, take over second with a 2:20.5.
We're very, very lucky, and I thank my lucky stars every night when I go to bed for that, because the life that the Reining Horse Association has given us is something that we can never replace. The horses, the family outside our family, the honors that the NRHA has bestowed upon us, as well as the ones we've earned, are really, I just feel very fortunate.
When we come back, our former champion will make her run, and legacy rider Taylor Zimmerman tells us about a horse she never thought would be in this final.
I about cried actually coming out of the pen on her because we just had come so far together.
We'll be right back with more Horse of the West. Don't ride off.
Reining horses, they're like nothing you've ever seen. But you gotta know what you're looking at. Like that right there, we call that a rollback. This right here, now that's a turn. And this right here, well, that's how you can get a little something like this right here. NRHA, this right here is reining. Woo!
Welcome back to Horse of the West and State Fair Park's legendary, soon-to-be replaced Jim Nrha Coliseum in Oklahoma City. We're catching the non-pro action from the National Reining Horse Association Futurity, the biggest event in the sport of reining. Former Futurity co-champion Gina Schumacher is leading with a 221 aboard Whiz and Rise. $1 Million owner and rider Kim Muhlstetter of Scottsdale, Arizona was the 2022 Futurity co-champion along with Gina. She's next to take aim at Gina's lead, riding Shining Vintage, a.k.a. Simon. This is a son of $3 million sire Colonel Shining Gun out of Vintage Galaxy, a mare that's been important to the Muhlstetters program.
She's been one of our best brood mares. This is the first one, her oldest, that we've taken to the pen, and it's been pretty steady so far. It's hard to, prepare the 3-year-olds to know how much they need, how much they don't, how fresh you need to keep them, how they're going to respond under the pressure. We're all just still figuring it out. So I'm really happy with his consistency. I hope the mare keeps producing like him. I'd be happy.
Kim and Simon slide in with a 218.5. Next up, Danny Latimer of Marietta, Oklahoma, riding a daughter of P.S. Megashine Chick. Here's Snappin' My Crush out of Snapbacks.
This is a filly that we raised and bred, and she's a full sister to a horse that I had a lot of success on last year as a 3-year-old, and she's so special. She's so sweet, and she's gritty, and she has so much try. We call her Silk, and she's little, but man, she gives her heart to me, and she's been phenomenal this year to work with. I've been there from day one and been around her a whole lot as a weanling and a yearling and 2-year-old to now, and to be able to have her step up and show for me tonight, there's not a lot more you can ask from a 3-year-old.
Danny and Silk slide into third. Taylor Zimmerman of Springfield, Missouri, granddaughter of Hall of Fame member Vaughn Zimmerman's, on a son of $2 million sire, not rough at all, named Rough Jules.
He is out of my old youth mare, Gotta Get a Diamond, who I had won quite a bit on a few years back. And he's by our sire we used to own, not rough at all. He has just been a solid show horse for me all year, and he is just like his mother, so I feel like I'm getting on her little clone. And it's just been so fun. He's just a breeze to ride. He's on the lazy side, which I love personally.
Taylor and Rough Jules earn a 218.5 from the judges.
That horse is just like his mom was, and I feel like I'm out there showing her, and I'm just so grateful to my grandfather for giving me such amazing horses and my whole family. I mean, they just do so much for me and the whole Tom McCutcheon crew, and they got that horse so prepped. So I'm thrilled. I rode Rough, not rough at all, when he was a 2-year-old. He was at our house, and then to show the mom, it's such a full circle moment, and I'm so grateful for that.
Taylor has 2 more horses in the final. That's the maximum number you can qualify here. And that includes a daughter of Colonel Shining Gun out of Sail This Way, named Shine This Way, called Mabel. They scored 213.5 here in the final, even though Taylor never intended to show Mabel as a 3-year-old.
I bought her as a project horse for a potential 5-year-old, not a 3-year-old. And she was entered up or paid up into the Futurity, and I was like, you know what? Why not? And she's so good-minded and just a sweet mare, gives a lot of heart. She's definitely one, when you step in the pen, she's like, I'll give my heart. And she puts her little ears forward and goes right around there just trying as hard as she can. So I was super happy with her. She just knocked my socks off, so I was very thrilled with her. I about cried actually coming out of the pen on her because we just had come so far together. So to get all 3 of them was kind of like a huge personal achievement. I've never done that before, so I was super happy.
When we come back, $1 Million owner Tish Fapani makes her ride on a mare that was an unusual challenge for her.
She's deaf. It's never his first one I've ever shown.
And Mandy McCutcheon has another shot at an 11th Futurity title on a horse with a distinct personality.
He's a little bit of a menace, I think, like Alvin the Chipmunk.
Your Horse Inside and Out with Dr. Joe Carter is sponsored by Beringer Ingelheim.
Now.
Before making any decisions about your horse's health, be sure to consult with your veterinarian. Your Horse Inside and Out is sponsored by Beringer Ingelheim, makers of Viterra. Appropriate vaccinations in the spring and boosters in the fall help keep your horse protected from infectious diseases year-round. Vaccines can help prevent or reduce the severity of and limit the spread of disease. Consult with your veterinarian to see which boosters your horse might need. We'll be right back with more Horse of the West and the NRHA Cinch Non-Pro Futurity Championship. Don't write off.
Oklahoma Equine Hospital, now with standing MRI, magnetic resonance imaging without anesthesia.
It's very easy to use on the horse. You walk them into the room and then let the machine do its work. Safe, easy, accurate way to diagnose lameness, and it's a huge asset to the performance horse. It's a game changer in the performance horse industry.
Oklahoma Equine Hospital with standing MRI off I-35 south of Norman, Oklahoma.
Welcome back to Horse of the West, this week from Oklahoma City and the NRHA Cinch Non-Pro Futurity. These riders are considered non-pros because they do not get paid to train. They have to ride horses they or their families own. That doesn't mean they don't ride for big money. This event has a $75,000 top prize. Former Futurity co-champ Gina Schumacher's leading with a 221 aboard Whiz and Rise. Next to go, $1 million owner Tish Fapani of Scottsdale, Arizona, wife of all-time leading rider Andrea Fapani. She's on a homebred mare named Wish I Was Yours by Colonel Shining Gun out of Whizzin' Checks.
She's been colorful and beautiful from day one. My husband's put in a ton of work. So a little bit of a challenge for me, but the talent is there and she's got the maneuvers for sure.
The challenge, this mare is deaf.
It's the first one I've ever shown, so it's a little bit different, but you have to learn to adapt to them different, and I'm pretty routine on how I ride, so I've had to change.
Well, despite the challenge, Tish and Wish I Was Yours slide in with a big score of 222 and take over the lead. But 10-time Futurity champion, all-time leading non-pro Mandy McCutcheon still has another horse to go. This one is called Spookin' at Night, another son of Gunner's Special Night out of Spook's Little Princess.
We call him Alvin at the barn. He's a little bit of a menace, I think, like Alvin the Chipmunk. He's always into stuff, and he's got a lot of personality, for sure. He's always in your pocket trying to get whatever you have, but he's just been a sweet horse for me. His mother was actually in my dad's program for a while and then moved to our program, and now she's back living out at my place in the pasture. So we'll hope to create more Spookin' at Nights.
Mandy and Alvin score a 220.5 for their ride, putting them in third with two riders left to watch. When we come back, we'll see those runs and we'll get the stories on two more firsts here at the final NRHA Futurity to be held in the Jim Norick Arena. One rider making her first ever Futurity ride, and another who's riding a horse who did most of the training on himself.
This is by far the most training I've ever done on one.
Be right back with the conclusion of the NRHA Cinch Non-Pro Futurity Championship here on Horse of the West. Don't ride off.
Go to virtualhorsehelp.com for interviews and insights from top reining and reined cow horse professionals, and to worldwideslide.com for bi-weekly news coverage of reining around the world, both with completely free access online. Come ride with Virtual Horse Help and Worldwide Slide.
NRHA Reiner Magazine, the official publication of the National Reining Horse Association, filled with industry news, along with training tips, in-depth features, and horse health info. Read online at nrha.com. Welcome back to Horse of the West, bringing you the conclusion of the National Reining Horse Association Futurity Non-Pro Championship. Tish Fapani of Scottsdale is in the lead with a 222, riding a deaf mare named Wish I Was Yours. Up for grabs, that $75,000 top prize. Michelle Fumagalli of Scottsdale, Arizona is a level 2 rider that qualified up to this level 4 final on Pepto's Big Stop. This is a son of late night stopper out of Pepto's Little Melody called Rudy. Michelle says Rudy is the perfect companion to be with her on this big night in this historic arena.
I view him more as a friend, I guess, but because we're doing it together. We're both learning together. So I think it's these horses, like with an older horse, like they've had the experience before, so they kind of know what to expect. Whereas with a Futurity horse, you're like their first experience, so it's like really special because you just get to build that bond right away.
Michelle and Rudy's bond brings them to a score of 217, which is going to earn them the Level 2 championship. And Michelle says, after all, she wasn't too stressed about being in this Level 4 final.
It is intimidating, but I think you just have to learn to show what you got and like be yourself and go out and be confident. And everyone can eventually get up there if they try hard enough. I feel.
Tish Fapani's 222 is still the score to beat, and now here is our last rider, Jack Meadows of Cuba, Missouri, and Perfect on Ice, a son of $3 million sire SG Frozen Enterprise out of Isn't She Perfect, a mare Jack himself showed a few times.
He got started at Casey Dairies, and we brought him home middle of his 2-year-old year, so this is by far the most training I've ever done on one. But he's just been really cool. It's the first time I've rode out of that mare. She's completely different than all the other ones we've bred and raised, so it's just been a cool experience learning on him. He's a really talented horse that has a bright future ahead of him. It's been a different experience this year, but it's been a very good learning experience on how to be patient with them, let them tell you where they're at. But I love him to death. He's gonna be a great show horse. I think the idea right now is to keep him and show him for a little bit. He's so good-minded and so quiet that it's hard to let go of one when you have one like that.
Jack's training holds up to the test here in this non-pro final. He and Perfect on Ice make a run worthy of a 219, which is going to give them 5th place, tied with Danny Latimer and Silk. They will go home with a check of $27,000. But the championship goes to Tish Fapani and her homebred mare, Wish I Was Yours, good for a $75,000 payday. Coming up in the weeks ahead on Horse of the West, we'll have the Open action and the North American Affiliate Championships from the National Reining Horse Association Futurity. Then catch our coverage of the Better Barrel Races Dinosaur Classic for barrel racing action. And from the NRCHA, the Snaffle Bit Futurity Championship and World's Greatest Horseman. I'm Jennifer Reynolds. We'll see you next time on Horse of the West.